Well, back here, another place to see what we can find. There's definitely plenty of rubbish everywhere. There's even tyres stuffed in the bush down there. Plenty of rubbish everywhere we go. Stuffed in every nook and cranny by the looks of things. Do you ever sit back and think to yourself, am I relying on technology and all that kind of stuff a little bit too much? And what is this world coming to? Or what is this country coming to? Because when you think about things, a lot of people choose not to because they know that it's bad and people don't want to think about bad things. But when you think about it, it can open up your eyes and it can make you think to yourself, I need to change for the better. For example, one of the things is all the rubbish that we've been seeing all over the place. Interesting fact, by the way, all this land here, all this hills, all this here, have a guess what's underneath it? Huh? What's underneath all this? What makes these hills? What makes this, all that there? What makes all of that? I'll give you a clue if you want. I mean, there's a great big clue poking out the ground right there. You probably can't see. Where is it? About there, I think. This is all rubbish. This is all made from rubbish. Fascinating, eh? That's because this is landfill. And underneath here is decades and decades and decades and decades, probably even a couple of centuries of homemade domestic rubbish. All capped off with a bit of soil and now it's grass. Looks pretty cool. And I'm not against landfill. But what I am against is fly tipping all over the streets and paths and everywhere else like that. I can't understand how that is. And the thing is, technology's made all that kind of stuff easier, isn't it? Because you want to get rid of some rubbish, all you got to do is get on the internet, find one of these dodgy people that will come and pick your rubbish up, charge you a small fortune, and then just dump it in the local hedge. Before there was any kind of technology, any kind of internet or anything like that, that was more difficult to come across. If you had some rubbish, an old shed or something, or home renovation stuff that you wanted to get rid of, you had to go in the yellow pages, where you would like to think probably most of them were fairly legitimate, or get rid of it yourself. The internet's made things a whole lot more complicated in every way. A paedophile, for example, 40 years ago would have had to gone out and find whatever. Now he's just got to go on the internet and find whatever he wants. Sad. Really, really sad. Oh, there's a bin bag stuffed behind a tree. Bizarre. I think it's mad how those concrete barges all just left there. That's proper crazy. And a lot of them have got holes in them and everything. Obviously they won't float or do anything anymore. The history on those is pretty cool if you want to look it up. Maybe I'll do a video on it, probably not, because I'm not a history channel really. Not really my thing, but maybe one day. Look how much fines and rubbish is just scattered all along this path here. What's this all about? I reckon fly tippers must have got in here and tipped all the way along here or something, and it's been cleaned up, but it's been cleaned up, like, obviously they got it all. But this isn't just, this is fine. It looks like it's from a trommel or something. It's not just, well, I don't know, I'm not a blooming expert in it, but that's what it looks like to me. Unless it can't be washed up because the tide don't come up this far. Anyway, technology, it's great because, you know, in the field of medics, like in hospitals and all that kind of stuff, they can work out what's wrong with you a lot easier. Well, there's one of those funny signs there, look. Just one person's smile, it was all worthwhile. That's pretty cool. Oh. One of those signs there, it looks like it's fallen over a little bit. It's got a little mouth at the bottom there, look. If I made just one person smile, it was all worthwhile. That's what the sign says. He made me smile. Mr. Sign, you made me smile. So, I don't know how long you've been there, Mr. Sign, but it was all worthwhile. Yeah, so technology's great for, you know, that kind of stuff, because heart surgeons, heart surgery, all the cancers, brains, all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. But then it is bad in other ways. In the ways of, before the internet, if you were going to get scammed of anything, you'd have to have bought something from a dodgy person, in person. Whereas nowadays, you can just go on the internet, think you're buying something, and it's a scam. You know, it's opened up a whole new world of dangers. Look at all this rubbish. There's an old barbecue there. Load of cans, bottles, all the way along here, look. Clearex. Not to mention the graffiti. Cans and bottles all along here. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is the River Thames. Probably one of the dirtiest rivers in the country. I don't know that as a fact, but probably. Most people sit there and flick through the TikTok and whatever. Think of how many hours per day are wasted on that kind of stuff. Hundreds and hundreds of hours every day wasted on just flicking through mindless brain rot. Not to mention all the artificial stuff, the AI stuff now. You know, there's stuff out there writes letters for you. You might get a letter from someone, an official place, and it's written with it, you know. But you can tell the difference, but I'm not going to go into that now. But don't you think it's mad how technology is invented and it's there to try and make our lives easier, but in a way it makes our lives more difficult. They say that a lot of, well, pretty much, I can't remember the facts now. There's something I read the other day, and they say that a lot of mental health stuff is an epidemic at the moment. But the thing is, technology, internet, TikTok, all that stuff has brought it on, because people that otherwise wouldn't be worrying about their appearance or anything else, they just get on with their daily lives perfectly happy with themselves. Watch this trollop on this TikTok and shorts and anything else of these people that put out false personas that isn't true. They put makeup on, they make themselves look the way they look in order to make those videos. Other people watch them, think that they're like that every single day, and then they become insecure about themselves. This is mad. It's mad. I know it's been about for years with pin-up girls and all that kind of stuff, but that was, you know, everyone knew that they were not real. But people seem to think that what they see on the internet is true, and it's real, and I think it's mad. Absolutely bonkers. How could you do that? Have you ever sat back and thought about that? I don't have any social media apart from the Instagram that goes along with this. YouTube account and the YouTube itself. I don't really count the YouTube as, I just count that as TV, you know, that's not really a thing. It's the flicking through the mindless thing all the time, up, 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 constant after one after another. And what happens is our brains are overindulged, which is why normal things seem boring to some people now, you know. What was fun before, going for a walk with your friend or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, was fun. You wanted to spend time, you wanted to do this. But because you sit there flicking through these videos, your brain is constantly going through all these different emotions, happy, sad, anger. That's why a lot of these companies, they put this stuff on their websites that angers you, because believe it or not, anger makes you come back for more. So then you're feeling happy, sad, anger, happy, sad, anger, anger, sad, happy, happy, sad, anger, all in these really quick successions. It's messing everyone up. It's messing everybody up. I don't have any of it. And I throw my phone to the side as often as I can because I don't want to be anywhere near it. And ever since I done that, probably 10 years ago, life's gone back to being really, really great. I think a lot of people should just get rid of it all. Go back to just television, the long form YouTube videos, not the ones that are scripted by stupid AI voices that are just unwatchable. And stop blooming littering, for goodness sake. Now, I'm not saying all this, I'm not making this video to try and change people or do any of that kind of stuff, because little old me sitting in the corner, probably only going to get a couple of 100 views on this anyway. It's not going to change the world, but I do think it's crazy. I mean, for example, you know, every day I walk down the street and everybody walking down the street has got a phone in their hand while they're walking, for goodness sake. I mean, when I walk down the street, I'm normally walking, I've got my head up, I'm looking around, I'm taking in whatever kind of scenery I'm in, and looking around, you know, being aware of my surroundings, because it is a dangerous place. Everywhere's dangerous these days, but that's, you know, I just look around. Well, I can't see the point. And also, go to a restaurant or something with the wife, sit down, look around, and I can guarantee you, over half, probably nearly all of the people, it'd be one or two that actually do sit down and converse with each other, but most of them are sitting there. You got the woman and the man on their phones, you know, looking around, flicking through stuff, and you think to yourself, what actually happened to enjoying each other? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, there was something I read the other day where they were saying, I don't know if it's a true, like an actual proper study sort of thing, a scientific study, but I was reading something, and these bunch of scientists had come up with this thing saying that love isn't going to be a thing. People are, because there are people that are falling in love with this AI stuff, you know that, don't you? This chat. I thought for years, I've only just recently found out, I always thought that this chat GBT thing was for gays. Gay, bisexual and transsexual. GBT. I thought it was a gay thing. I only just recently found out that it isn't meant for that. I don't know what the GBT does stand for, but if someone I know that was using it, I said, why are you using this gay, bisexual, transsexual thing? And it's like, it ain't that. It's a blooming chat robot. I was like, yeah, no, it's a chat thing, but I genuinely thought it was like a robotic chat room thing for gays, bisexuals and transsexuals. But it ain't. But there's people falling in love with that, and all these AI boyfriends and girlfriends. What a load of trollop! What is that all about? Anyway, you know, they were saying that love and relationships and all that, they're not going to be a thing in, you know, years to come, because people are going to be, their minds are going to be so indulged in their phones, technology, TikTok and all that stuff, and all this AI stuff. They just talk to a phone. You don't have to have a talk. You don't have to talk to a genuine person. You can just talk to a robot. And they seem to reckon that your relationships, boyfriend girlfriend relationships, aren't going to be a thing. People are going to get their satisfaction from talking into their phone. They're not going to want any of that kind of stuff, a physical relationship, which to me is bonkers, and it spells disaster for the human race. No relationships, no sex, no offspring, no sproutlings, no minions. Mad. When you sit back and you think, and you realise, it's all pretty cool. Evolution, humans inventing things, doing this and that. But I think there's too much of a good thing. There is definitely such thing as too much of a good thing. And when the 80s and 90s, the internet was becoming up and coming, and this is great, you can do this, this can be automated now, this is great, helps businesses save money and all, helps you save time and all this. That's all a good thing. And the phones are a good thing. Mobile phone, great. You have not tethered to a landline anymore. You can go out, you can be safer because you can take a phone with you, and if you're in trouble, you can phone for somebody when you're out and about. Great, that's all good. But too much of a good thing. The good thing evolved into a bad thing. Nowadays, you need your mobile phone for everything. I mean, I sat down the other day, phone's on the side, I got rid of it, chucked it on the side, didn't want to know anything about it. Sat down with the laptop, had to do something that I had to do on the internet these days, banking and all that kind of stuff. And went on there, and it said, we've sent a text message to your phone. So for goodness sake. Then I went and got that, alright, put the number in, and put the phone back on the side in the other room, come back down, thank goodness for that, it's nowhere near me anymore. Sat down again, and then it said, you've got to go on the app now and confirm. For God's sake. So then I had to go and get the phone, come back, go on an app, confirm it. I might as well just use the phone to do what I was trying to do. But then I had to go back on the laptop. Why can't you just put in a password, maybe have an email or something, which you can do on the laptop anyway, to confirm who you are, sign in, do what you need to do, but you need the apps for everything. Even work these days, there's companies making people use their own mobile phones, which they pay bills for, making them use them for their work. It's crazy. It's a whole new world. I could talk for months about this because I think it's ridiculous. It's different if you've got a company phone or they pay for the bill or pay for the phone, but they're, people running around like blue-ass flies on their own mobile phones doing work on it. And you need it. Without it, I've been to jobs before when they say, we've sent you this, you need to sign all this paperwork on your phone. On my phone. But I'm coming to work for you. Just give me the bit of paper and I'll sign it. Oh, no. It's a text message. It's on WhatsApp. What if I haven't got WhatsApp? Oh, well, then you can't come and work for us. Right, okay. Mad. It's crazy. Anyway, I just thought that might be something interesting to think about. I'm gonna go to work now. I am. I'm gonna go to work and have a lovely day. The good thing is, when I'm at work, I put my mobile phone in my bag, shut it away, and I have nothing to do with it for most of the day. On my break time, I might get it out and just check to make sure if I've got any text messages that are important or anything like that from the wife or the boss or whoever, the way it goes. But for the most part, it's in my bag and it's aside, and I have nothing to do with it, and the whole day is just mind completely free. Happy days. I'm going to catch you a lot later on. Think about it. I could talk about this for months and months and months because it's a fascinating subject to me, because I just love the way that humans work, all this evolution stuff and all this bollocks, making things better for ourselves but actually making things worse for ourselves and self-destructing ourselves. That's what we're doing, self-destructing ourselves. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. Your thoughts and comments on it, put in the comments, because it's a fascinating subject, as I've just said, and I think it's amazing. And I think I might continue this, and we'll talk some more about it and all this kind of stuff. And I'll do a bit of research, get some facts, and we'll have well, we won't have a conversation because you can't talk back to me, but we'll look into it a bit more. What a lovely, but it is a lovely day, lovely world, lovely life. Sitting there on the edge of this landfill site with decades and decades and decades of stuff. I'd love to dig down into that. Make sure we don't hit pockets of nappies and stuff like that, though. And see what's at the bottom of a landfill site. Anyway, I'll catch you later on. Think about what I said, because I think you'll find, even if you love technology, you will find that you're on it far too much, and how much time you're wasting going through all those videos, TikToks and whatever else. If you was to put that phone, throw it aside, not go anywhere near it for months, you'll also realise all that other stuff that you've been missing out on, that you used to, you know, indulge in, just going for walks and taking in the scenery and doing all that kind of stuff. I bet if you're one of these people that walks to work or walks somewhere and you're always on your phone, you wouldn't know if a house has changed colour, you wouldn't know anything. And if you walk around without your phone, you take in so much more stuff. You know, all the sceneries, everything's changing, all this and that. You would realise, yeah, what you missed out on and how things used to be, and then you won't want to go back. You won't want to go anywhere near that phone after that. I guarantee it. Anyway, cheerio. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best.